Lucidchart Cloud Insights makes it easy to quickly drill into information that matters most. Because your diagram is backed by metadata, there are lots of options for what you actually see on the canvas. When your cloud diagram is generated, you will automatically see a view of the infrastructure on your canvas in the center of your screen. The panel on the right is where you can change what is visible on your diagram. If you'd prefer to see a different view, just navigate to the drop-down in the upper right under View. Lucidchart will provide standard views, including infrastructure, VPC topology, resources, summarized infrastructure, security groups, and ECS. We will continue to add standard views, which will appear in this dropdown. Infrastructure will show you the resources in your cloud environment organized by accounts, regions, VPCs, subnets, all the way down to individual resources. VPC topology will show you an overview of your account, including regions and VPCs. And finally, resources will show you a list of all the resources in your account. Summarized infrastructure will use summary shapes to simplify the diagram by displaying only one icon per resource, such as EC2 or load balancer, in each container like a subnet or a VPC, with the number badge showing how many of that resource are in the container. You can right-click on the icon and uncheck the Summarize option to expand and see all the resource icons individually. Security Group View organizes the resources by the security group they belong to. Resources may appear in more than one security group if they have more than one security group attached. This view also allows you to turn lines on to see full permission connections between security groups if the lines for those groups referenced each other by name. ECS View, which is in beta, visualizes ECS tasks and services inside of their clusters. If you are importing from a region that doesn't have resources deployed, you will get the AWS default services that are automatically there for each of the regions. By default, you will see an internet gateway and a VPC with a route table, network ACL, and a subnet for each VPC in the region. Once you select a view, you can drill in further. Make sure you have selected the Explore tab at the top of the panel. The top section will allow you to adjust what is seen on the canvas and simplify your diagram. You can unclick specific hierarchy containers by removing the check on the left, or click the drop-down caret to reveal and unclick specific resources. Now let's navigate to the next section in the panel titled Filter Data. This section will allow you to filter criteria based off of the metadata in your diagram. Simply use the drop-down to select the resource type you'd like to filter. Then use the other drop-downs to create your desired criteria and click Save. You can also check the box Share Across Views, which will make that filter available on all the views. Adding a filter will change the view of the diagram. You can add more filters by clicking the plus icon here, or edit or delete a filter by hovering over the filter and clicking the pencil icon to edit or the X to delete. Take note that these are OR filters, meaning every time you add a filter, it will show any resource that meets any of the filter criteria. As soon as you have the resources on your canvas you would like to see, use generated lines found at the bottom of the panel to see relevant relationships between entities. We can draw networking lines for resources that explicitly reference another in the metadata. Select the relationship type you would like to see and adjust the line style in the expanded menu. You can change the line color and style here. When you have the settings the way you would like, click Done to see your relationships come to life on the canvas. If you find there are too many lines that are becoming a distraction for certain needs of the diagram, simply uncheck the box for them to go away. Adjust the layout of your diagram by clicking the Layout tab at the top of the Cloud Insights panel. You can change the alignment of entities and their connected metadata by clicking top left or centered. Before changing anything else in the Layout menu, first select the level you would like to change the layout for. For example, do you want to change the layout for the outermost level of your AWS cloud? Or do you want to make adjustments to just the layout for the VPCs? It's also worth noting, this panel is responsive, so if you click on an icon on the canvas, it will show you layout options for that specific resource type. Once you select the level, you are able to change the style of the layout by clicking on the options in this menu. You can also adjust the horizontal and vertical spacing and set restrictions on the numbers of columns to get the ideal view for your diagram. As you saw with the Summarized Infrastructure view, you are able to summarize shapes to show the icon once with the number badge. That option will show in the Layout tab, or you can right-click on a resource on the canvas to summarize resources. Some resources run in or are attached to other resources. In the Display Options menu for a given resource, you can choose which relationships you would like to visualize. Some of those relationships will put the resource icon on the boundary of a resource container. You can move those icons around to different sides of the resource container by dragging and dropping. You can also add text fields as labels. To take your layout to the next level, you can even sort by the metadata contained in the layout by clicking the drop-down next to Sort By, or toggle on Group Contain Items by Type, and notice group names populate in the Order Groups drop-down menu. Simply click and drag names to reorder groups and watch as the layout changes on the canvas. Note that if you have a group non-container items toggled on, you won't see the individual elements in the Order Groups section. You'll need to have that toggled off to order them. Then you can toggle it back on. By customizing the layout, you can make the diagram look nicer, follow a more logical network flow, and make it easier for different audiences to understand. Now that you have applied filters, relationships, adjusted the layout of your diagram, and more, you will want to save your diagram as a custom view to keep the configurations you have set to regenerate in the future. Click on the View dropdown and select Save as a New View. Then, create a title for your view and select Save. This will save all of your settings, including filters, generated lines, layout, text fields you added to the canvas, and more, so that if you refresh the data for your diagram, when you click on this view, it will bring back all of the settings you have in place with an updated version of the diagram. Simple as that. With just a couple clicks, Lucidchart Cloud Insights makes it easy for you to drill into the information that matters most and flexibly adjust your view. Continue to the next video in the playlist to learn how to visualize key cloud governance data in the context of an architecture diagram in Lucidchart.